That's right. That's what scares me, is that we could, if we were doing the right thing, we could end this thing in a year. But if we delay and we get things wrong, or if there's corruption like more than or the same as there is now, yeah, we could get a strain that is just too strong, and we end up with this kind of thing forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but which would mean that, yeah, maybe if you're young and you're careful, you can have a decent life, but your life will still be changed more than because we were living in a world where we had an expectation of the world and what it is like, and what sort of promises it holds for us in the future. But now that is completely different. We have to just sort of think, well, maybe it will go back to that, but if it doesn't, like, my life is completely different. I will not get to travel to these places that I wanted to travel to, or
Yes.
I will not get that job that will be, because it won't be available. People will just be in poverty for the rest of my life. And, even if you are doing okay, that affects you as well, like looking around at how different your community is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I wish more rich people felt that way, like with things like the pollution, and like thinking that, yeah, I want to, buy out these other small businesses so I can get so rich and have a monopoly and I'll be so powerful. But then realizing that if everybody around you is unhappy, how happy could that make you? But unfortunately, studies have shown that if you become like very wealthy, it takes away your ability to actually empathize with other
Yeah.
people, and yeah, I think when people get so rich, they're thinking only of their other rich friends, or competing to get to the next level, and they're completely detached from reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely. You
Mm.
know, and also, big companies, they they have influence over governments.
Mm.
I'm talking
Mm.
about my own company. I work for a company that it is the biggest in my state, and also one of the biggest in Brazil. And um, they work. They have, their business is in the health, industry, and during this time they have, used this pandemic to buy more and more, small companies. So they are expanding their operations. And
Yeah.
here in my state, we are in lockdown for
Yeah.
2 weeks, but they had, made the state government, the local government, to allow, their employees to go to work, because they considered their
Right.
activity, even the administrative ones, essential. So basically, it's like it's supermarkets, healthcare workers, and people in their company that, and they have influence and they have the power to, to say what government should do. And
Right.
also, these these rules, these laws, they apply to everyone except, for us. And
Yeah.
we have the money and the power to also, have a few things to say how you
Mm.
should, manage this crisis here in my state. And they also support Bolsonaro, and I think that explains a little bit why they behave like this.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, in some cases, it's not that they have power over government, it's that they kind of are government, because they have people like CEOs that move into positions of the government, that or
Right.
they promise roles, from government officials, and say, oh, when you finish, you've got a job here, or you can have some speaking engagements where we'll give you millions of dollars, or a nice car, or whatever it is. So yeah, they get regulations stripped that apply only to them, or they have lobbies where studies are taken but cherry pick data to make
Mhm.
their case, their story, give that as the official narrative to the government, and then yeah, that gives them the power to say, hey, look, we're doing this for your safety, and we've got to keep open because we're essential, but everybody else has to close. And yeah, of course, that just makes everybody else's life more difficult. And I've seen videos in the United States of like a Walmart having to like staying open while someone who owns like a small sporting goods store or something like that have to close down. So you're watching this company that was already massively powerful compared to you and can already offer cheaper prices stay open while you have to watch your business go under. And in their case, they haven't been getting stimulus payments,
Yes.
to cover the cost of like rent and mortgage. So these banks, they continue to get the money,
Hmm.
but other people just get kicked out of their homes, and you'll have a situation where you've got people homeless on one side of the street looking up at a new building being built, but with empty apartments that nobody can afford. So it's absolute madness.
Yeah, I don't understand why rich people, seems to be blind because, okay, I have a company that, offers healthcare insurance, and I'm a big company, like mine,
Hmm.
like my company is,
Hmm.
and I have some influence, and I can stay open while other businesses, they are closed, and I think that is good because I will be able to buy new companies, smaller companies, but also that means that a lot of people will lose their jobs,
Right.
and if nobody or less people are working in the economy, that will also hurt my company in a near future.
Mm.
Maybe not right now, but in a few months, in a few uh, years from now, that will hurt my sector. And to
Mm.
me, one part of this pandemic that it's said, it's not only people dying, etc., but also smaller businesses, because we know that small companies, local businesses, they work so hard to have their company. They put all of their efforts, money, and dreams into that business, and suddenly they are not able to stay open, and
Mm.
also they are concerned about their employees, about their dream, etc. And when people be that's why I get so frustrated and angry towards my towards citizens here. It's like, you are not only hurting, or maybe helping people
Mm.
die because of your responsibilities, but also because people like you that don't behave properly, small businesses are closing and they will not be able
Yeah.
to reopen, and you are destroying people's lives, you are destroying people's economies, people's finances, everything, and you are not concerned about that because the big companies, they can stay in a pandemic for years, for months,
Mm.
but these little ones, they can't. And you don't think about them when you go out without using masks, or
Mm.
gather with people, with friends illegally in some parties, etc.